So, let's talk about something that's kind of weird about modern life. In a world that is more connected than ever, why do so many of us feel completely and utterly alone? Today, we're going to unpack this whole crisis of belonging.
I want to kick things off with a question for you. You know that feeling when you're in a room jam-packed with people, or maybe you're scrolling through a social media feed with hundreds of friends, but you feel this deep, profound sense of being by yourself? Yeah, if that sounds familiar, you are so not alone in this. And that right there, that's the huge paradox we're digging into. We have more tools, more apps, more ways to connect with each other than at any other point in human history. And yet, survey after survey, study after study, shows that we're feeling more disconnected than ever before. I mean, how does that even work?
You know, there's actually a name for this. Social psychologists call it the connection paradox. It's like we've built this incredible digital highway system to bring everyone together, but it feels like it's missing something. Some really important ingredient for what makes a connection feel, well, real.
And look, this isn't just you feeling a certain way. This is a real documented crisis and is showing up everywhere, in our schools, our offices, our neighborhoods. As Dr. Curtis Peterson points out, people are reporting this growing sense of feeling disconnected not just from other people, but get this, even from themselves.
So what is that missing piece? What are we not getting? Well, it really comes down to this difference between just being around people and having a real connection. See, being in the same space or swapping text online, that's just proximity and communication. That true connection, the stuff we are biologically wired to need, that's about feeling seen, understood, and like you're a part of something that's bigger than just you.
Okay, so to really get our heads around this, we got to shift how we talk about it. This isn't just about feeling lonely. It goes deeper. It's about a fundamental, biological, human need that's just not getting met. And that need is for belonging.
So what is belonging, really? It's so much more than just fitting in. The sources we're looking at define it as this experience of being seen, of being valued, and being understood. And here's the kicker. It's not something that just happens. You don't just find it. It's something you actually have to build, piece by piece, through all those small, consistent, day-to-day interactions.
And we need to be super clear about how important this is. I think Dr. Peterson just nails it when he says this isn't some nice-to-have little bonus. It's not a luxury. No, it is absolutely core to our ability to even function as human beings, to our health, both mental and physical.
You know, this slide really gets at a huge myth we have about belonging. So many of us think of it like you either fit in or you don't, like you're a puzzle piece. But the reality, it's so much more like building something. It's an active process, it takes work, you have to be intentional about it, and you have to keep maintaining it, or it falls apart.
So, if this belonging thing is so crucial, where the heck did it go? Well, the problem isn't just in our heads. It's actually built into the world around us. Let's talk about our neighborhoods and how they've changed.
I just love this idea from one of the sources. Think about it. The front porch. It wasn't just a place to sit. It was social architecture. It was this semi-public space where you couldn't help but have those small, repeated run-ins. You just knew your neighbors. You knew their routines. And that familiarity is where belonging starts to grow.
And you know what? There's a name for these kinds of spots. Sociologists call them third places, right? Home is your first place. Work is your second place. Third places are those amazing, crucial, in-between spots where community just happens organically through informal, regular, totally low-pressure meetups. Just think about some of these places. Community centers, barbershops where people would just hang out for hours, bowling leagues, local churches, even that front porch. These were the places that created what experts call social capital. That's just a fancy term for that web of trust and support that holds everything together. And so many of them, they're just gone. They've been squeezed out by how we live now.
Okay, so what? What happens when we lose these spaces? Well, it's not just about feeling a bit more lonely. It's deeper. It's that we're literally losing our sense of who we even are. The loss of community fractures our very identity.
And I mean, the data on this is just, wow, it's stark. Take a look at this. It shows what people are calling the friendship recession. You can just see this massive jump from the 90s to today in the number of people, especially guys, who say they have zero close friends. Zero. It's exactly what that sociologist Robert Putnam warned about when he talked about bowling alone.
But how? How does having fewer friends actually mess with our identity?
It all comes down to this idea of relational mirrors. Think about it, right? We don't just wake up one day and decide who we are in a vacuum. A huge part of our identity is co-created. It's built through all these interactions that reflect back to us who we are, that we're competent, that we matter, that we belong. So when those mirrors disappear, our whole sense of self can start to feel wobbly.
And that really is the bottom line here. This quote it says it all. When our neighborhoods go quiet, it's not just that there's less noise. It's a lack of those mirrors, that social glue, that leaves us feeling fragile and unstable inside.
All right, I know that was a lot and kinda heavy, but here's the good news. This is not a hopeless situation. We can absolutely rebuild this. And it's not about some giant sweeping change. It's about small, deliberate things we can all do.
And the first step, and honestly, this is the most important one, is a total mindset shift. Belonging isn't something you go out and get for yourself. It's something you create for other people. The real power move to fight loneliness isn't to ask, how can I belong? It's to ask, how can I make someone else feel like they belong? That changes everything.
Okay, so what does that actually look like? Here are 3 simple but really powerful things we can all start doing like today. Number 1, engage meaningfully. That just means going one step beyond the usual, how are you? Fine. Ask a real follow-up question. Share something that's actually true for you. Number 2, create the spaces. We can't just wait for those old third places to come back. We have to be the third place. Linger on the porch, hold the door open for a neighbor, and actually chat for a second. Organize a super casual get-together. And number 3, and this is huge, practice reciprocity. You know that feeling of recognition and attention you're craving? Go give that to someone else first. It is hands down the fastest way to build the kind of world you actually want to live in. So I want to leave you with this one thought. Fixing this crisis of belonging, it's not going to come from some big government program or a new social media app. It starts with us, right here, in our own lives, with the actual people who are right in front of us. It's about realizing that we are the social architecture. We are the relational mirrors for each other. And that first brick in rebuilding it all, it's as simple as asking yourself this one question. Who can I help feel seen today?